Hey, I'm Tim. This is my workouts. I'm gonna share my workouts this year for a body transformation. And this year is a little different about my body transformation. Is I'm not using any sort of supplements, so no protein, no pre supplements, no like protein shakes, no pre workouts, no BCAs, no extra like vitamins. Just strictly trying to see what I can do uh, with getting food from or getting all my nutrients just from the food that I eat. I'm not opposed to supplements. I think if you want to take them, great. I think that's awesome. I've took them for a long time, and one of the reasons I'm not taking them is I'm not 100% certain that they're necessary at this point for me to hit kind of the goals I'm looking for. I will say that so far the thing I miss most about taking supplements this year is the ease. It's very easy to put together a shake and throw back some protein when you have the supplements. Keeping track and make sure you're getting enough supplements or enough protein from your food is definitely more work. The other reason why I'm doing it is save money. It is when my kids started preschool, and preschool is not cheap. So this is a easy way to try and save some extra cash. It's me $100 a month, 1,200 a year. So that's where the other motivation comes from. Today I'm going to be doing shoulders. I typically start out shoulders with a lateral raise, but my elbow is still not 100%, and I want to just give it a little bit more time before I jump back into lateral raises. So today I'm going to be starting out with the shoulder press. Those. Starting a little late this morning, courtesy of monsters in my kids' dreams. Starting late because one of my kids had a bad dream, and it was like right before I woke up. I actually just lost count of how many I've done. Yeah, right before I woke up, when my alarm was supposed to go off, all my kids called out from their bed that they had a bad dream and they wanted to sleep in my bed. So I went and held them and tried to get them to stay in their bed, because if they sleep in my bed and they kick and they wake up, my wife, their mom. So stay with them for a little bit, trying to get them to chill out, and they didn't. So then I had to put them in my bed regardless. So I try to encourage them to stay in their beds, but at a certain point, I don't care, and I'll let them back into our bed. I'm also tired, not just from we got the time change, so it's earlier than it was, but I'm also I'm trying to get my kids to embrace the time change is fun. I took my kids on some big hikes yesterday. We went you know, walked at least a couple of miles, and I was really hoping that, in fact, we were off of a trail, so in the dirt, in the mud, and uphill, downhill. My one kid went to sleep really easy, or pretty easy. Went to sleep by like 8:40, and I was pretty stoked on that. Um, and then at like, I don't know, not like 9:30, they woke back up, and since they'd been asleep for almost an hour, they were super excited to play, and just getting them to go back to sleep was such a chore. They didn't go back to sleep. I think they weren't asleep again, like completely asleep till almost 11. So that cuts into my sleep. So instead of getting 6 hours of sleep, I had, you know, about five and a half. I'm a little tired this morning, but that's the joy of parenting, right? You get to run around on 5.5 hours of sleep. Oh, what's gonna be a good day? I'm up now. I just can't wait till both my kids can make it through a night by themselves. And I think it's going to be a problem until they learn how to read. I think when they can read and sit up and read books till they fall asleep, that's when it's going to help me the most. I think my kids are definitely night owls like me. And the only thing that helped me when I was a kid or got me to go to sleep was reading. Even then, if I had a good book, I would read all night. Even though I was, even though I was like doing bad in school and not really doing my homework, I would read all night. Love, love reading. I recently got the. I've never read a Stephen King book, and my wife got interested in checking out the Dark Tower series. She heard that was a good series, so I bought that. I'm going to start reading that. It'll be my first dip into the world of Stephen King. I've only ever seen like the movies, which I understand don't do his work justice. So switching to the 50-pound dumbbells for the shoulder press. And I think this was the. Let me see. Let me see one thing real fast. Yeah, so this is the first time in a while doing the 50 pounds with the shoulder press. So it's a new step. There we go. All right. Felt pretty good. It's exciting to move up. I was excited this morning when I looked at the temperature in my garage. It was 62 degrees. That's so nice. It's supposed to come out here when it's like 48. 62 degrees out here is practically a sauna. If I was ever rich enough, I would like to get a sauna. I don't see that happening anytime soon. But I would love to have a sauna. All right, let's do this again. To infinity and beyond. Ow, come on. Good times. I'm sitting at the table, secret to surviving. All right, here we go. All right, I gotta remember to breathe. All right. So 2 sets of 10, 1 set of 8. Not bad for a start. I would have preferred to be able to do 3 sets of 10, but we'll get there. I gotta blow my nose real fast. When your mind saying, see your eyes, whiskey, give you some else. I like that song. Gambler by Kenny Rogers. Song. Alright, we're gonna try to do another set. At least get back up to 8. Oh, come on. All right, 7. All right. It's okay. Shake it off. I'm go on back down to 40. Yeah, no. Count your money. You're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done. Every gambler knows the secret to surviving. By the way they hold their eyes. If you don't mind saying, I can see your eye laces. Taste of whiskey. Give me some advice. I know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. Never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done. I like listening to old old gamblers tell stories, especially gamblers that have gotten like good at one form of gambling or another. I forget which poker player. I have his book. Can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. I want to say it's Bronson or something, but he writes this whole long book about poker. He's a good poker player, and he said he's won a lot of money playing poker, but the problem is he's always been a gambler. And he got into poker because he likes gambling, and if he just stuck with poker, it wouldn't be so bad. But because he likes gambling, he starts betting on everything, and that's what's costing him his fortunes. Is betting on anything from racing to golf, because he's a gambler, and that just cracks me up that you would get really good at one form of gambling just to go do another one that you're not good at, so that you would get that taste for gambling in your mouth. And in secret to I don't think I'll ever be particularly great gambler. Um, because if I'm playing, it's to get away from thinking and analyzing, and just goal is to just relax. So it would never be grinding it out at a card table. I feel like if you're grinding it at a card table, you should just get a job. That's one Keen Phil's sketch that I like a lot. There's one where they're looks like they're gonna do a bank heist, and the guy is talking about how they're gonna go to work every day at the bank and slowly over time take the bank's money, and then after years walk out. And I was like, that's a job. I'm like, yeah. The grind that some people choose to do to avoid work always seems like such a more complex job than if you just went out and did a 9 to 5. I remember there's a time when I was in my 20s, and I got laid off from work from a pretty good job. I had moved up a lot in this company, and was making good money, and I got laid off. And it was one of those frustrating parts where I had made it to the level of a district manager, but I'd only been there for less than a year when I got laid off. So I couldn't do a lot with that work history. I really didn't want to start at the bottom, so I spent a long time trying to find a job, and my benefits were running out, and people told me like different ways that you could extend your benefits and all these different things you could do to try and keep getting money off the state. I was like, man, I'm just gonna go work. I all this like hustling and running around and filling out this paperwork and that paperwork and then all that to just sit on your butt. I'd rather just go work. I just, went and worked. Made minimum wage, which was the first time I made minimum wage in like years, and it sucked, but this was a job. Definitely feel much better working than sitting on my butt. I remember this guy one time when I was younger. I knew um, he complained about how his life felt meaningless and worthless. And this guy, he had a some sort of learning disability, but not one that you could like point at in conversations. And he was good enough at everything he did. Like you never noticed anything. He certainly was good enough at playing video games and doing stuff on the computer. But because his dad worked for the government, he was able to get a disability check and he was able to get free housing. He had like a brand new apartment that was nicer than any apartment I lived in. All at the time like a brand new PlayStation, brand new Xbox, brand new had Microsoft computer, just everything. Or no, it was an Apple, but just all the best stuff. And he was complaining about feeling useless. And I sounds like, yeah, man, because you are. Like you don't contribute to anything. You don't have a job. You don't volunteer anywhere. All you do is consume. So of course you feel useless. And he was like, well, I'd get a job, but there's no jobs out there. I said, there's jobs everywhere, man. There's jobs everywhere. Yeah, you can go get a job tomorrow digging a ditch, working with your hands. And he was like, oh, I can't do that. That's beneath me, which is really frustrating because I'd spent a lot of time at that point digging with my hands and working as a janitor and doing all sorts of jobs to pay my way through school. So and he was like, "Oh, that's beneath me." So I was like, "Man, you've never had a job in your life. There's nothing beneath you. Anyone that's had a job is above that. You can't never have worked and start saying which jobs are beneath you. If you've never worked, which job in the world is better than you?" Well, what do I know? I get annoyed in life and my hands start getting soft. I didn't do any sort of manual labor or construction jobs for, I don't know, like almost 5 years once. And the only work I was doing with my hands was in the gym. So they were getting softer and softer, and the calluses would fade. And it was just so frustrating. So when I was younger, you take pride in your calluses. When you work hard with your hands, you take pride in having hard hands. So seeing them fade is very frustrating. Now, it's the same thing. I haven't done manual labor in the last 3.5 years. So all I have now are calluses from working out and whatever's left. But it's okay. When if I start doing manual labor again and working with my hands, I'll just callus back up. And it's fine. Hands are good at remembering what they're good for. There's been a couple of times where I've been doing things where you do something where you think you've cut your hand or messed up your hand. You look down and you find out your hand's fine because all you did was stab into a callus or cut through a callus, and nothing's bleeding, everything's fine. Being saved by your calluses is always a good feeling. And for the record, just because you don't have calluses on your hands doesn't mean you're not working hard. You have plenty of difficult and complex jobs and not have calloused up hands. So still trying to have strong hands though. Or at least a firm handshake. Nothing is weirder than going to shake some guy's hand and it being like a limp, cold fish. Alright. Done with the shoulder press. on 2 shrugs. Just doing a couple of quick warm-up sets. Make sure everything goes where it's supposed to go. All right. Dumbbells real fast. Someone's awake. All right, as you can see, I'm gonna have to buy some more 10-pound plates today. I'm maxed out on this guy. I can barely get the thing back on the lock. So hopefully it stays on and none of these fall off. But today is the day for the doing the 65-pound shoulder shrugs. Good times. And currently with my plates, this is the most I can fit on here. Yeah, that's one. And I never did shoulder shrugs when I was younger. I had a opposition to shrugging. I don't like the way it seems like you don't know what you're doing if you're shrugging. Very silly reason not to like an exercise, but sometimes I can be a silly person. All right, this again. At 12 minutes. Hold on. I'm gonna drop on down to 55 pounds, 16 pounds off. And keep going. All right, 55. Sometimes I can feel my hands, my grip is getting tired compared to the actual muscle.